So I finished Splintered by A.G. Howard today. I have been reading it for a couple of days and I just wanted to give you a quick review on it. I will write a more in-depth review on Goodreads and post it on my blog as well, so feel free to check that out. So I just wanted to share a couple of quick thoughts on this book. I want to start by saying when I read a book, I do not look at any reviews. I might go on Goodreads, I might check out maybe how many stars it has, but I don't read any reviews because I don't want any spoilers, and I also don't want anyone else's opinions to skew my reading of the book, because when I read, I want to be able to take that all in myself. So that said, Splintered. So I'll read the blurb for you on the back to give you an overview of what it's about. Alyssa Gardner hears the thoughts of plants and insects. She hides her delusions for now, but she knows that her fate, she will end up like her mother in an institution. Madness has run in her family ever since her great-great-great-grandmother, Alice Liddell, told Lewis Carroll her strange dreams, inspiring his classic Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But perhaps she's not mad, and perhaps Carroll's stories aren't as whimsical as they sound at first. Okay, so I will start out, obviously. This is a take on Alice in Wonderland, or the ancestor of Alice in Wonderland, and her return to Wonderland and her quest to save her mother from the institution. Okay, so I just want to say there are a lot of things I do love about this book. Okay, now first of all, this was just a fun book to read. I just really enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed the writer's her take on Wonderland. It kind of has some dark, creepy undertones to it, some nonsensical undertones to it, and I really enjoyed that. So that's why I'm actually giving this book a high rating for me, which is a 4. A lot of books get 3, which means they're good books and I enjoyed them. But to get a 4 means it's something that will stick with me. And for whatever reason, the Wonderland in this particular book is really what stuck with me. I also love the character Morpheus, which is a take on the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and I may not be saying his name right, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it, so there you go. He was overall my favorite character in this book. He really stole the stage. I love that he was kind of witty, kind of snarky, kind of crafty. You really don't know if he is on Alice's side, if he's out for his own good. Is he good? Is he bad? You just really, I really loved that about this book. So his character and her portrayal of Wonderland and her take on it is the reason that I am rating it as a 4. So I loved those things about the book. So when I sat back and I really was trying to decide what I liked and what I didn't like about this book, a lot of pieces fell into place. And I found that every part of the book that took place in Wonderland, I thoroughly enjoyed. I really felt like she brought the world to life, but at the same time, there was just enough of the original bits of Alice in Wonderland and then her spin on it. That's what I loved. That said, I didn't care for a lot of the book that was written in, I guess, modern day. The character Jeb, that's her love interest. Very clearly it's her love interest, her friend that she's in love with. He has a girlfriend, that sort of thing. That is pretty obvious from the beginning. Now, Jeb comes across as controlling and pushy, a little overbearing to me toward Alyssa, and I don't like that. I didn't like it. I do kind of feel like where the writer was going with that is that later on, spoiler alert, he does in Wonderland give his life for her. So I think the writer was wanting to show you that he cares so much about her that he's trying to stop her from making bad choices and decisions, like going to London, and he's keeping things from her. And I don't like that about his character. Now, there are parts of the book where I do find myself rooting for their relationship together in spite of that. So kind of some mixed emotions on that, on his character. Again, in Wonderland, I liked him a lot more than I did in the modern world. Okay, so the other thing I did not like about this book, and it's another spoiler, is in Wonderland, when Alyssa and Jeb begin their relationship, or you kind of see that he's interested in her and he starts making some moves toward her, he is still has a girlfriend. And so this comes off as cheating. I don't like books where the main characters are cheating on each other, or a girl is falling for somebody who's another girl's boyfriend and they get together before they break up. I don't like it. I don't find it enjoyable. Now, I will say I did not like that. It did bother me in this book. It does wrap up. Things are not what they seem. So I guess that's kind of dispelled a little bit later on. But initially, I just didn't care for that relationship between the two of them at all because of that aspect. I felt like Alyssa, I liked that she had some strong faults. She made some bad choices. She stole and kind of generalized it, or not generalized it, she said, oh, it's okay because I'm going to pay it back, which stealing is not a good thing. But it is interesting to see a main character who does have a fault like that put out there, because I feel like a lot of writers are afraid to give their main characters some major flaws. Anyway, this is getting long, so I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, what I did not like about this book. I already mentioned Jeb. I already mentioned that I didn't really care for the modern day portion of it. I did not like the mother in this book. I did not like that in the end, spoiler alert, it turns out that she is just pretending to be crazy. That just doesn't do it for me. I didn't buy it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the mom. No. So I did go and I read after I finished the book, I did go and read some other reviews about what people thought of this book. And there were a lot of people who had a problem with the way that mental illness was portrayed. It didn't really bother me at the time because it is fiction, but I do see where some people were coming from on the portrayal of mental illness and the craziness. You got to remember, this is supposed to be tied into Alice in Wonderland. It's kind of crazy kind of thing. So I see where the author was going with that. I don't love, like I said, I didn't care for the parts of the book that were set in the real world. So I think there's a lot that could be said about how she did handle some of the mental illness. It's a very real thing that a lot of people struggle with, that I struggle with, that some of my children struggle with, that people close to me struggle with, depression, anxiety. These are very real things, and I do like to see them presented in books, but I like to see them, I guess, presented a little bit more realistically than I felt it was handled in this book. But overall, that didn't kill the book for me. It didn't make me put it down. I liked the book. I rated it 4. If you love Alice in Wonderland, it could be iffy on this. You may either really like this adaptation of it or spin on it, and you may hate it. So read it. Tell me what you think.